once again to welcome to an episode of Shattering Limits with Cindy. This episode is going to be a little bit different. Once a month, I'm going to do a special kind of one-on-one answering questions episode. It's going to be called Tea Time with Cindy, and I do have my tea here. So it's green tea, which is actually very good for you. And I'm going to try not to wince when I drink it because I'm not a big green tea person, but it's healthy for you, so I'm going to drink it. But anyway, I'm going to answer as many questions as I can during this time. It's only going to be about 15 minutes. And since this is a recently started channel, we don't have any questions currently, so I'm asking people to submit their questions in the comment section. That's fine, and I will try to answer anything about MS, about anything MS related, not just me personally, but anything about MS and in my life and how it's gone and my progression of it, that sort of thing. So anyway, since, like I said, we really haven't been up that long, so people haven't done any comments, and I haven't said to do questions on the comments, I'm going to just be answering some general questions about this and about how it's progressed for me in my life. Just so you guys have some information as far as, what kind of input I should have for this. So anyway, I'm just going to talk about, I've had MS for about 28 years. And when I first got it, and I have notes here, sorry, I wrote it down because it's about 30 years that I've had it, so a long time. So anyway, I first got a cloud in my eye. It was optic neuritis, and so it was kind of weird. It just showed up one day when I woke up. There was a cloud in my eye. It was kind of weird. So I went to an ophthalmologist, and he gave me steroids for that. So that was a quick fix. But he said, I also want you to go for an MRI. I'm like, MRI? Why? And he's like, well, sometimes there are other reasons. So I just want to rule out anything else. And I'm like, well, what? And he said, well, MS. I'm like, really? My walking is fine. I actually was a roller skating waitress when I lived in Colorado. So it was a fun job. I liked that. It was like, hey, waitress, I'm sorry if I was ever your waitress. I was just not a good waitress. Not a good waitress. Just something I should not have done. But it was a very fun job. So it was a fun job. Roller skating waitress, last American diner in Boulder, Colorado. So not around anymore, but it was fun. Anyway, so he sent me to the MRI to get an MRI for possibly ruling out MS, and as it turned out, that's what I had, which really didn't make sense to me at the time because I'm like, I'm walking fine, and so anyway, I'm looking at my notes because I don't want this to go too long. Anyway, so I had that. I was walking fine. I do remember that my leg was going numb at times, which was just kind of, I just thought I was falling asleep a lot. It didn't mean anything to me. I just thought, okay, get up, walk around, and that would take care of it. And it didn't always necessarily take care of it just when I got up and walked around, because it wasn't just asleep, it was just a sign. And so it was just kind of, it didn't go with what I felt that MS should go with. So anyway, I was diagnosed, I guess, with relapsing remitting, because it just went away. My optic neuritis went away, and then my walking, was fine. And so anyway, my progress for that was just steady the whole time. I mean, yes, I was on medication. I was on Copaxone. I was on Gilenya. And I mean, I was just steady for about over 10 years. And then I would say really had no symptoms other than the numb leg. I was a runner, and I also rock climbed, but just none of that interfered with it. Sorry, my screen went dark. Anyway, I just don't want this to go too long. I want to give you information. I just don't want it to be me rambling. Anyway, and let's see. I also biked and hiked. So, I mean, I did everything normal. There was nothing that it impacted. Let's see. As far as what I ate, I sometimes watch what I ate, but completely, I ate whatever. I ate fried foods. I ate fatty foods. I ate sugar is what I really crave. That's just my thing, is that I love sugar. So even in my tea, I don't have sugar anymore, but I will put honey in my tea. That's allowed. So that's okay. But I I'm a big person, and I think if I had eaten better, just as everything progressed really from the start, I'm not, I can't say for sure I would be fine. I wouldn't be in the scooter, that sort of thing. But I think it would have been better if I had eaten better. So, that's really something to consider. If you are just newly diagnosed, eat better. And exercise is good too. But I was exercising, and it didn't slow my progression, I think. So anyway, when I was in my late 40s, sorry, when I was in my late 40s, I started to have to use a cane. So things were progressing. I really, the way my medication was, I was on those medications, and then I tried a IV medication. And I'm not going to say it was the IV medication. I don't think that caused it. It was Tysabri. And anyway, after I was not using the cane, and then after the year, I think that was just the progression of my disease, and plus I was eating poorly, and I just had to start using a cane after I finished that. And I'm like, you know what? This obviously isn't helping me. I think I need to be doing something else. So I really went off medication after that, because it was just, I just didn't. I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist too, where I'm like, you know what? The pharmaceutical companies don't necessarily want us to get better, because then they're going to lose all their business. So I can understand that from a financial aspect for them, but from a personal aspect, I'm like, I really don't want to spend thousands of dollars on this medication, which these medications, even though I had insurance, they are getting thousands of dollars a month for this medication that isn't keeping me stable, at least keeping me stable. I was getting worse. And so I thought, this is just not what I want to do. So I decided not to do any medication of that, just kind of watching for my diet, try to do some exercise, that sort of thing. Because obviously the medication was not keeping me stable, and it certainly wasn't helping me improve. So that was a personal choice of me. I'm not anybody who wants to be on medication. Great, do it. If it's working for you, wonderful. And anybody who chooses to go off medication, I understand where you're coming from. So anyway, that was in my 40s. I had to use the cane, and then about 4.5 years ago, my balance was just getting too bad. My weakness. I was getting too weak walking around and trying to walk around and do things, and I was too worn out, too tired, and plus it made a difference because my kids were going off to college, so I'm like, I really didn't even have those guys there to help me, because I'm divorced twice. So anyway, I'm good terms with their father, but he doesn't even live in the town, so I was not going to have any of my family to do that, even though my parents were there, but my parents were older, that sort of thing, so I wasn't going to be calling them all the time. But anyway, that was when I was about in my 50s, so that was 4.5 years ago. I'm 57, so that was 4.5 years ago when I really had to use a scooter pretty much full time. So I can stand up, I can, if I'm holding on to something, there has to be like a counter or something else for me to hold. Or I can walk on the walker like I showed in one of the videos, but that's not long term. That's not for a long distance, that sort of thing. So if it's going to be like if I'm going to the store or something like that, I'm taking the scooter. If I take a walker, it has to be like a short distance for me. So anyway, that was 4.5 years ago. So as of now, my systems include, I do not have pain. That is the one thing, is that I am very thankful for the fact that I do not have pain. Some people with MS have pain, and I feel really bad for them, because that's just a huge factor for this. But I do not have pain. That's a lot of people will ask me. It's like, does that hurt? Nope. And so if I'm getting in a car and my legs aren't bending right, I'll say, go ahead and bend my leg. Well, that's just fine. You can, move me around or whatever. Just shift me here or there. That is just fine. Because I don't have pain if you move my legs or anything like that. That is no problem. I mean, I have no issue with that. So anyway, I think that pretty much sums it up for me and for MS. I'm trying to think if there are any other questions. I can't think of any other questions with it, but that's a quick rundown of my MS and my progression. I think I guess I've gone from relapsing remitting to secondary progressive because it doesn't get up better. I have when I was getting worse at one point, they did put me on steroids for that. It was pills, and it was like 50 pills a day. It was like an insane amount, but it didn't clear up what was going on. So I think that's the way it goes, is that, people who had MS for a while, you understand that, yes, the steroids work maybe at first, but eventually they just don't work. And I don't know why, I don't know what happens, but your body just doesn't do it. I mean, not that I think steroids are bad for your system long term anyway, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, but they just don't fix whatever is going on. And so that didn't, and I named some of the medications I was on. And like I said, right now I have to actually order some more vitamin D. I think vitamin D is very important. Fish oil is important. The B vitamins are good. One person that I do follow online is Matt Embry, and he has the Best Bet diet. And so I try to eat what he has on there. Some of this, I mean, I don't eat fried foods anymore. I don't eat the really good food. Like, I love Chick-fil-A. Love it. I can't have Chick-fil-A anymore. And so I don't eat the gluten. I don't eat the fried foods. I don't eat sugar. I like ice cream. I love ice cream. Can't have ice cream. Don't have ice cream anymore. So, yeah, I mean, what I eat is really not that exciting. But I just hope that it keeps me a little bit healthier right now, keeps me stable. So anyway, please have any of your questions down below. I would love to hear them. I'll answer anything about MS. Anything. I will answer any of your questions about MS as it relates to how it's progressed for me, what I've done, what kind of medications I was on, anything else like that. But just let me know if you have any questions. We're going to do this once a month, and I'm hoping. Okay, that was 13 minutes. I didn't want to ramble on too long. But please just let me know if you have any other more questions, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day.